What's up guys, it's Eric here, and before I get into today's video, I just wanted to tell you guys about this thing. If you guys haven't seen this announcement, Riot just dropped a ton of information about the Vegas LAN that's going to be happening later this year. This is going to be probably the biggest event TFT has ever had. I am so hyped about it. I'm going to do everything in my power to go to it. So unless something very strange happens, you guys are going to see me there if you guys go to the Vegas LAN. But just to give you guys some brief information about it, if you guys didn't see the announcement that dropped on Frodan's Twitch channel today, it's December 8th through 10th, so it's going to be later this year, beginning of set 10. I think it's like the first 3 weeks of set 10. It's got a crazy big prize pool, 300K total. So if you make it to the second day, which is top 128, you're already getting $450. And obviously, if you make it to the end, you get insane money, $100,000. They're going to have priority registration for Challenger and GM and Masters players. So passes are going on sale at the beginning of next month based on an August 30th snapshot. So if you guys want to make it to this thing and want to guarantee yourself a slot, getting Challenger is the best way. And then the second best way is being GM or Master. Um, get your climb on. You still have some time before the end of this month, but that's what it's going to be based off. So I have to make sure I don't run it down and lose my challenger before the end of this month. But yeah, there's also discounts based on what rank you are. So here, let me pull this over a little bit further. But normal tickets are $400, kind of pricey. But if you're GM or Master, it goes down to 300, and if you're Challenger, it's $200. So definitely more doable for someone who's Challenger. This is going to be a huge LAN event. So and some of this money is part of why they can have such a big prize pool. So yeah, definitely not like a cheap event, and you of course have to fly to Las Vegas if you're not local and get a hotel. But I'm gonna do it just because I love TFT and I want to go see people who I've never met before in TFT. I'm pretty sure that's all the information that's really relevant is now as so far. They have information about like what the format's gonna look like. So if you want to see all this stuff, go to Kana's Twitter at underscore Lauren Wu. She has a ton of good information there about it. But yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know because it's uh it's going to be crazy, and I don't know. I'd like to see as many of you guys as possible there, but I know of course not everyone can make it due to cost and just due to work and things like that. But I'm gonna be going almost guaranteed. I would be very surprised if something came up that I wasn't able to go. Like it would have to be some insanely important event that meant like that I couldn't make it. But like I am going to register on September 5th and grab a ticket because like the only thing that was holding me back is like how expensive is it going to be to go? And I mean, $200 if I maintain Challenger is really not that bad. And then obviously like the flight and the hotel and stuff, but like I can make that work. You guys have been very generous dropping subs on Twitch and watching my YouTube videos and stuff. Like I make enough off this channel that I could definitely it's definitely reasonable for me to go to that. Not to say that I'm making bank. I'm not quitting my job just yet, but yeah. In any case, today we got a VOD review of one of my games off stream last night. Figured we'd VOD review the future winner of the Shrima Cup. That's the other announcement is that obviously Shrima Cup is happening this weekend. It's going to be in one day from when I posted this video because this should be coming out Friday. It's going to start Saturday at 1 p.m. Pacific time. We're going to be playing against some of the best players in North America, so it should be pretty scary. Okay, so I see this shop. This is a Malzahar Swain shop. I'm pretty sure I'm just meant to lock this shop for Stars is Born because I mean Swain is a broken unit, Mal's 2 is a broken unit, Oriana 2 is a broken unit. So I'm pretty sure you're meant to lock this shop, and you can see me just lock it. This is of course the Joe Bookmark locked shop, Caitlyn Tech, where if you get a really good shop, especially with like an early Swain in it, you just lock it and guarantee that you're gonna hit like Swain 2 here. And luckily we do get Stars is Born, roll our options, and we're always gonna take Swain 2 here. And now I'm thinking for a while about what do I actually take here. Do I take Oriana 2 guaranteed, or do I take the Malzahar pair? Or like the Malzahar 2 guaranteed. I end up just buying Oriana here because I think, like there's a decent chance that we're just going to hit Malzahar 2 here. I also realized that obviously like, this is our strongest board playing around Noxus and just keeping the Oriana 2 in. And we can still make 20 because we are in Hall of 9. We just got, what is it, like 8 times stage gold. We just got like 16 gold from Hall of 9 there, I think. And we could just slam a Sunfire into the Swain, and our board should be very strong. I mean, this is just a very standard Caitlyn opener. But yeah, I don't know. I wasn't 100% sure about not guaranteeing the mouse because mouse 2 is obviously broken. But like some of the reasons why I went for this, I mean, We have Mal's pair, so it's quite likely that we're going to natural a Mal's 2 sometime this stage. It's also that Oriana 2 is no slouch. She does work. And the third reason is that we don't actually have items for our backline yet. Like if I had like a JG slam, maybe I would lean towards grabbing the Mal's. But since we have no items to slam yet, I'm pretty sure this is just fine. So yeah, this is our setup. I considered double leveling here, and I looked at a lot of these boards and say, okay, like double leveling could actually swing some of these fights. Getting a Malzahar 2 is really good, but I don't want to cut Noxus, and we're still going to make 20, so I say, okay, let's just do this here. Of course, we fight Setsuko, who is, in all things, a high roller, who somehow has a Combat Augment and a Samira 2 and a Cassiopeia 2, so we're going to end up losing this fight. It ends up being relatively close, but he also went 5. You know, we end up almost even killing the Samira. Like, it was a close fight. If he just wasn't a high roller, then we would have won this. But, whatever. Who cares? It's not the end of the world. And as long as we win this next fight, we're going to make 30. So this is a pretty standard, like, Sorks tempo opener. The reason I want to VOD review this game, you'll see later. I guess it's already in the thumbnail, so I'll tell you guys, this is an endless Hordes game at 4-2. So it should be very interesting because if you guys saw my tourney performance, I played around endless Hordes and it did not go well. That was the only game on weekend 1 that I bought forward, is the game where I took Endless Hordes, and I went, like, 7th. A lot of people say this augment is just not very good at 4-2, but I think I slightly cracked the code. Also, this is, like, is this the lobby with Setsuko and Precedent in it? I don't recall, but Setsuko and Precedent are both in this lobby, and you'll see it's quite interesting where they, end up placing this game because you see these types of players in your lobby, and you always get like, I definitely feel some pressure. I'm like, oh my god, Setsuko pressed event. I want to take either a rod here or maybe a cloak or something. No, I definitely want to just take rod here for JG, but I don't get that option, so I just end up taking tier here. And it's all right. Tier is good to build in some kind of AP item. And then we also pick up a Taric in this shop. The only issue is like, how do you actually fit in Taric in this situation? Like you cutting out of Noxus. I think I end up just keeping Noxus in here, but I'm not actually sure what uh, the best board is here. I think it's probably still play Noxus for this round, and then if I find something else that I can play next round, cut out Noxus. Um, we end up actually finding like a really strong board. Like this person's item slams are just insane, and they just have every unit, every one cost except for Oriana 2-start for some reason. So yeah, we end up actually fighting a strong board, and all of a sudden we're like loss streaking with this setup where it's not even loss streaking, we're win loss, but like I don't know, everyone's boards were insane. Like that person had JG Ionic slammed. Like those are the perfect item slams. And so I see like, okay, I've lost these last two. I might as well just start pivoting into what I know my later board is going to be. And this also might even be stronger, just for Sork plus the Bastion. Obviously I couldn't have played this last round because I didn't have the Bastion yet. But we're just gonna do this. I also natural the early Azir. As I've said many times before, I don't prefer to play around Azir when you're playing Caitlyn because you don't have enough items. We are in Hall of 9, though, and Hall of 9 can provide you with extra components or just like full items. So there's maybe a chance that we end up playing around the Azir Lux this game. So I'll hold on to the Azir at least for now. I think I consider holding the Sona as well. I think it is actually correct to hold Sona because like it's more likely that I'm going to play around Sona than I am going to play around Talia. The problem is I'm probably going to play neither of them early. So like it's kind of tough, but like easily our next level can just be Azir, Teemo, and we'll have a strong board if we add either of them. So yeah, just holding on to the Azir for now doesn't seem bad. I also scout around, see there's basically just that one person who's going to be in Sorks, so I'm mostly uncontested in Sorks, so pretty happy about that. I mean, it usually tends to be kind of uncontested. Get a belt here. It could be Guardbreaker. I put those guys next to each other, but like I'd much prefer the JG. Get dropped a tier here. That is always 10 times out of 10 going to be blue buff. And we get dropped another tier here, and also two more Swains. We check our orb, and our orb is an Ornn item. DFG is basically the only takeable thing here. So we just grab the DFG. And it's only 16 to level. We can level here and still make gold, so I'm just going to level for the Azir here. I think about getting Cho in, but I'm pretty sure it's just the Azir. And we're just going to DFG blue buff on Mal's. DFG blue buff actually kind of a nice combo. And now that we've made our tier item, I think it's fine for us to just make a redemption. The only scary thing about making this redemption is that it gets rid of our tier, which could potentially be like a healing reduction, or not healing reduction, but an MR shred item. And MR shred is really, really important when you play this comp, so it's a little bit scary to kill that component, but I don't want to be sitting around with like a full redemption open, especially when we already have Swain too. Um, so yeah, we just end up making that, and it's fine. I don't really like any of these very much. Shield Lotus is actually okay here, but I roll into Unified Resistance, which is just like so much better. Shield Lotus, like I don't know. It just doesn't really give enough crit chance for it to really be worth it. So at least Jewel Lotus 2. I think Jewel Lotus 3, the prismatic one, gives enough crit chance where it's actually pretty strong. But like Jewel Lotus 2, I think the numbers are just slightly undertuned, and I think Unified is a very strong augment, and it'll help us play around this Swain 2 that we have. So I like this opener. It's not like a Giga High Roll like win streak opener that like I've had before in Sorks. You know, I had to play with a Setsuko guy on my lobby and other high rollers. So like I can't actually just like win every fight. We do actually end up fighting Setsuko here, who's just got two Samiras in, one with Sniper's Focus, one with 3 items. But Swain does end up tanking long enough, especially with the Unified, that we can burn through his front line. And we end up actually cracking Setsuko's 100 streak here, which feels really, really good. Hopefully he was mauling about this. Who knows? But, you know, very, very nice to win this fight, to crack his win streak, and then to potentially start one of our own. We're only at 1 win here. But, I mean, at the end of the day, this, because we took Stars is Born, is going to be a relatively common Stars is Born game where we are just going to push fast 8 probably. Like we're pretty healthy and we have enough gold that we can definitely go level 7 next round, and then level 8 at 4-2 and then find our board. So, you know, nothing too crazy. Just like not the highest roll of games, but you know, definitely not like a low roll game either. So kind of medium roll, you know, for all the people who want to see a medium roll game and be like, how do you play the game when you don't high roll? Like, have what 2-star units have I hit this game? Outside of the units off Stars is Born, literally just Malice 2, which I held 2 Malice for. So yeah, and like our items aren't giga high roll. They're not like bad, but we've just made solid items. This is one thing that I don't know, like, this is part of what's been carrying me this patch is that, like, I just make good items. Like, you just gotta make good items, and, like, how do you know what items are good? I don't know, you just, like, have to know. Like, JG's a good item, Blue Oak's a good item, Sunfire and Redemption are good items, but they're definitely bad items. Don't build them bad. I mean, to be fair, like, most items are good if you just have them in the correct scenario. You just have to know when to build them and such. Like, you just most items do have a place. But yeah, as you can see, relatively rich here, so we can level up here and still make 40. Just get the Teemo in for another strategist. It's always going to be Jewel Gauntlet here. And yeah, we're relatively rich. We're also holding on to 5 Swains, so this could be a Swain 3 angle if we end up hitting. I want to make sure that I have my DFG in the right spot. This looks pretty good because it would hit that person's Cho'Gath. It's actually really good here as well because we're just going to like almost completely nuke this Urgot. But yeah, you got to make sure you have your DFG on a priority target in these types of fights. This fight looks like really scary. This person just went 7, rolled down with Piltover, and they just have a Zeri with like BIS. They have a Heimerdinger. They have an Urgot. Like, I don't know how I'm supposed to win that fight. I should be pretty happy with a 3-unit loss, honestly, against them. And we also we natural age Jarvan here, which is really nice. We can get this in over the Teemo and just play our strongest board. I hold it to. God, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. My phone just buzzed. I need to move it to. Okay, my bad. My bad. But yeah, I consider potentially like selling Swains here, but I think what I'm gonna end up doing is just holding everything. Because like it could still be an Azir game easily if we hit really hard, especially because we got this extra Ornn item. Like we can fully itemize Lux, and if we get any more items, itemize Azir as well. So like our itemization situation actually looks fine for playing Lux Azir. It just depends on like how many Azirs we hit, how many Luxes we hit. I still prefer to play Sorks honestly, but like yeah. Um, we end up taking a loss here, but still like not horrible losses, and we natural our 6th Swain here, and this Vel'Koz. Once I see the Vel'Koz, I'm definitely thinking a bit more about playing around Sorks. I really want to just level cut Azir and then play 6 Sork. That is like the very generic level 8 word in this comp. So level put Orion over Azir and then get Lux in as well. We also natural like giga insane items here, which is Ionic Spark and then can potentially be Zizrat as well. Itemization here, I see Manazane. Manazane is fine in this comp, and the other ones, like Hull Crusher is kind of awkward. So I just end up taking the Manazane here, and I think I'm going to slap it on like a Zir for now. But yeah, like I actually really like the items that we got dropped. This is very fortunate. I get to build Ionic, get to put Manazane, and then I'm just going to Zizrat our Jarvan. So yeah, I think Zizrat's also fine on Jarvan. He usually this early in the game won't get one shot, and by the time he's going to start getting one shot, hopefully you have Jarvan too. That is that is the hope, at least, but, you know, it can't always happen. But yeah, we actually get a really solid win here, and then, as I talked about earlier, it is 4-2. We see Rolling for Days, Hedge Fund, and Feral Contract. Don't really want any of those, and I see Endless Hordes, and I say, you know what? I need to get some practice on this Endless Hordes augment, so I'm probably going to take it here. We just rerolled the other two. It's nothing special, and we take Endless Hordes here, pops all of our items off. We're going to go level 8 and try to find what our board is going to be. We get this stuff in. I really want to get 6 Sork in if possible, but I just don't have it yet. I need to find one Lux. I end up hitting some really solid 2-star units, throwing a random Gwen right now for some reason. I should definitely have Teemo in, by the way, over one of these Sorks, but obviously, like, I get a little bit dizzy here, which understandable. And now I have to figure out where all of these items go. I put Ionic Spark there, Redemption there. Mana Zane is good on Vel'Koz, blue buff on Sona, and I want to make sure that when I'm itemizing Lux later, that Lux does not get an item, because I want Lux to be getting the Radiant item from Demacia. So whenever I find Lux, she's not going to have any item put on her because I want her to have the Radiant item. So yeah, that's just a sort of side note. And I end up hitting Lux here. We can just get her in over just anything here. I'm still playing this random Soraka here. I mean, Azir's not great, but I don't think I need to play this Soraka. We also still have a random at this point, we like at some point I think we realized that we still have a random Assadin in, which doesn't really need to be in either. But like, look, it's hard, man. It is hard to play this kind of stuff. So we end up doing this, playing a 6 Sorc strategist board. I'm pretty sure we should be playing a 0 over Cassadin just because Void is not really that valuable. And then eventually if we find Ari, I think it clicked. Like I'm pretty sure when you're playing around Sorcs, you just play 6 Sorc. And then if you're going to play around, like if you end up hitting Ari, you play the version of the board that I end up playing later this game, which is like Taric plus Karma plus Ari in, and everything just kind of fits. Like it's 6 Orc plus 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 Shen plus Karma, and then you just fit in as many strategies as you can after that, basically. As far as items, we just want to take another frontline item. We have all of our backline items figured out already, so we just really want an item for Shen. We end up hitting that Karma, which we can play right now, and it's probably stronger already. I think I psyched myself out into playing. Oh yeah, I psyched myself into playing like I don't even know. I psyched myself into playing this Atrox unit, which just doesn't do anything. I don't know why. Like, it should definitely be a 0 over Atrox here. I'm not even sure what I'm doing. I'm just dizzy here trying to figure out the board. But at least I'm fighting people who aren't that strong yet. And so, like, with the 6 Sorc, I end up getting some good wins and just, like, hitting everybody's HP for a ton, which is what you want to do with this augment, right? You want to get those huge, like, this is what, like an 8-unit win, 9-unit win, or something like that. Yeah, it's an 8-unit win. Getting those huge 8-unit wins and just taxing the entire lobby's HP feels really good. That's why I think this augment's so good at 3-2. We do also hit an Ari here, and so all of a sudden I'm trying to figure out, okay, how am I going to get Ari in here? A lot of people, like a few people in my chat were like, oh, isn't it Mana Zane Ari? And in the moment, I was like, I'm pretty sure JG is going to be a greater increase in damage. Like she's already got, um, she already has the mana gen from Ionia, so like it's going to be fine. The problem here actually is that Ari has 20% less HP um from Endless Hordes, and the fact that I'm never gonna get another item on her. Like, usually you don't really need Mana Zane on Ari, but in this setup, it actually probably was just Mana Zane Ari, because with Endless Hordes, there's actually kind of a low chance that she's going to live long enough to get 3 casts off, which you've seen a lot of these fights, she gets like 2 casts off and die. Or says Mana Zane is by far Ari's best item. Is that actually true? I mean, I could believe that that's true, and I'm just completely trolling. But let's Tactic Dots Tools it real quick. We go to Ari. Here, let me even pause the VOD and bring this up just to be instructive. So we're Tactic Dots Tools, we're gonna go to Ari, we're gonna go to Items, and sort by adjusted placement. Yeah, I mean, it's very high up. It says it's worse than like Gunblade and Guardbreaker, which I could see, and like obviously this spat is good, but it is definitely like hugely high up compared to a lot of this other stuff. About the same as Sniper's Focus, and like I mean to be fair, the stats say 3.72 versus 3.70. It's kind of no diff, but like in this spot, I do actually think Mana Zane was really solid. But at Dorowaza, I don't know if he even watches my YouTube VODs, but at Dorowaza, stats say it's not that much better than the other stuff. But I think in this spot, it actually makes a ton of sense. So we end up actually naturally in a Azir 2 here, and so I realized like, okay, this is just gonna be my board, but I do kind of need to roll and find like some more frontline. So I'm just gonna play this Azir 2 on my board. I'm gonna slam the GS on him, just to finish another item, and then all we have to do is look for an item for Shen here, and then we will be basically maxed out on items. But yeah, like the board actually looks pretty good. I think this is what the board should almost always be if you're playing around Sorks and you can find an Ari, which is the 6 Sork, 3 Ionia, 3 Strategist board. So it clicked. It finally clicked for me. And then also, of course, 3 Demacia in with Sona and the Jarvan. But yeah, we really want like Jarvan 2 and Lux 2 in this situation to really call the board stable. It's so interesting though. Like you look at Setsuko's spot. Setsuko is 2 HP. I don't know how this happened to Setsuko, where he had this insane win streak early. Maybe he just like tried to do like a really greedy like fast 9 or something and just lost out. But like I don't even understand. Do we even scout him here? I really wanted to see like what his board was here because we go to fight him here and then he just insta FFs. Okay, I guess he took hedge fund. I guess he took hedge fund, tried to go fast 9 and just like missed and went 8th or something. But really, really nice to see. You go into these lobbies and you're like, oh no, Setsuko's in my lobby. It's like probably guaranteed, like that's one of the spots in top 4 gone. And like, oh no, Prestivin's in my lobby as well. And then these guys just go 7-8 for fun. It's actually just so good. It really just shows that like you don't have to be super scared of these players. Like if you're good enough to get into a lobby with these players, it means you can beat them, and it means like sometimes they're just gonna completely troll and just go 8th. So yeah. Um, but yeah, someone in my chat actually mentions the tech that I shared before, which is actually completely fake. Which is that if you put an item on all the Demacia units, you can get a second item. People have told me that that is actually not true. I heard that in someone else's stream, but as it turns out, that's just like fake news. So yeah, don't try to do that. Just leave an open slot on Lux, put an item on Jarvan, an item on Sona, and then you'll be good. It's actually kind of annoying because I mean, actually, you can always choose who you want the item on. Like even if I didn't have this blue buff on Sona, I could always just take the Lux and put her back in. But yeah, I mean at this point we're looking to just try to go 9. Really want some kind of tank item for Shen here, but all the good tank items end up get taken, so I opt to just take another Ionic Spark here because like it's my best bet, and just spreading out MR Shred across the front line actually isn't that bad here. So I mean this kind of has to be it, and then I end up doing this, swapping them that we're basically like always Ionic in the front line. Also, if you guys are curious about the frontline Karma with ZZ Rot tech, I just want Karma to die as early as possible so that Lux gets as many Ionia procs as possible. Like if the way Ionia works is it jumps around between all the Ionia units. So if you have Karma, sometimes she's going to eat the Ionia bonus, and you really just want Ari getting it on repeat. So the sooner Karma dies, the better. So that's the frontline Karma tech. But yeah, I mean, you even see this board that we fight against, this pretty strong Ari board. We just absolutely stomped them. And like, look how taxed the lobby HP is. We also just randomly hit Swain here, which is very, very good. And yeah, I mean, the only thing we can roll for here is like Shen too. So ideally, we're going to go 9 this position, but I start looking at these final boards and say, wait, like these are kind of strong. There's like the capped Piltover board. There's like this Ionia board that's quite strong. Like it's actually like the lobbies are very strong. I try to swap here and hit their Urgot, but I end up hitting the Ionia player. Or it's not Ionia, it's actually Shadow Isles. It's like Shadow Isles Ionia, but I end up just sniping an Irelia, which is obviously bad. But you know, we end up taking I think a close loss here. Yeah, only 3 units is not that bad. Like we're easily gonna be able to play for top 3, and there's top 3. We just have to hope that we can maybe top 2. Someone in my chat asked, was it ever sign over Azir? I'm pretty sure it's never sign over Azir, just because and I'm talking about it here, the bonus from strategist on this board is really, really good. Unified is also anything that gives your entire team stats is what you want in Endless Hordes. That's part of the reason why I took it here, because like Endless Hordes with Unified is really good. That's the reason I took it in tournament as well, is because I had Infusion, but I think I just played the wrong board. I played Shurima for some reason. This is actually really funny. I get a tome here, which has a strategist emblem in it, and I go, oh my god, that would be so good to add to this board. Or a Sork emblem. Maybe I can figure out a way to play Sorks. But then I realize I don't have an open item slot anywhere. I don't have a single open slot. I can't put an item on anyone. What I should have done is rolled here, found an extra Shen, and probably played strategist here and just cut Shen, remade Shen because I don't need this Ionic Spark on him, and then just put the strategist emblem on him. But like I did not realize that in the moment. Also, this board that we're fighting is so strong, we're never gonna win. So all I have to do is hope that Fresh Veggie is gonna lose this fight, and they do. So I am basically dead at this point. Not much to do here. I just have to roll and try to hopefully find like an RE2 and a Shen 2. Maybe I can high roll a RE2 like a beast. But like as you see, this roll down does not go that well. I don't see a single Ari. I skip I skip a Shen there just because I'm looking just for Ari. I end up getting Senna in actually as like oh, I can play her. She's gonna be a better unit. She's gonna shield the entire team with Sork's Pat. But now I'm just playing with DFG on my bench. Like it's so sad that we were in Hall of Nine this game because we got too many extra items. It was actually like kind of bad. But I mean, we will take a second this game. It was a very, very fun Endless Words game. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did like, comment, subscribe. Oh, the other thing I want to mention is if you want to get your rank up for the Vegas LAN, you can always get coaching. For coaching, go join my Discord down below and go to the coaching info channel. Okay,